So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends and Prairie Vintage, my name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, fabulous viewers. Today's reading, we're taking a look at a message from your higher self and what it is that your higher self is wanting to communicate to you in regards to guidance. Okay, so this is guidance coming directly from your higher self, and it will be channeled through spirit, through me. Okay, so we're asking your high self, what sort of advice, guidance are you needing to hear right here, right now? And we have three options to choose from. And let's take a look at the decks we'll be using. We have the Crow Tarot. Okay, that's this deck right here. And we have the OK Tarot. That's the middle deck. And we have the Guardian of the Night Tarot. That's this first deck right here. And for oracles, we'll be using the Keepers of the Light. And we'll be using the Power of Surrender. And the Messages of Life. And also the Spirit's Messages Oracle. All right, so sit with this energy, beautiful angels, and whichever pile you feel called towards will most likely have the messages for you. It's absolutely fine to be pulled to multiple piles. Okay, it just means there's multiple aspects regarding your situation that your high self is wanting to pull through. Okay, but don't force any of the messages to fit. And I will put the timestamp below, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angel. Pile number 1. You guys picked the Guardian of the Night Tarot. Let's take a look at what your high self is wanting to communicate to you for guidance. Right here, right now. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. What is it that their highest self is wanting to communicate to them at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. For the greatest and highest good, please help me to channel this in a way that pile 1 will understand. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. It's getting very hot in here. I think I might need to turn the air conditioning on. All right. So, what do we have? We have the Two of Wands, and under the Two Wands, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay, we have the Four of Cups in reverse, and it's crossed by the Seven of Wands. We have the Moon, Cancer energy. We have the King of Swords in reverse, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, and then we have the Five of Wands in reverse, and we have the Three of Wands in reverse, and we also have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Wow, I'm never seen so many wands in my life. Wands, wands, wands. So what's wands? The fire of life, the will, the drive, okay? It's a creative energy here that pulls through with the wands. So bottom of the deck with the Two of Wands is talking about some sort of decision, some sort of path. Okay, but I feel like something coming through about surrendering to the unknown. Because I feel like wherever we have been might be emotionally dissatisfying. And so there's a new path, but this new path might have a lot of questions, and it might not make a whole lot of logical sense at this time. So your higher self is talking about you sitting in an energy here of contemplation and stagnation, and looking at the future potential as something that is maybe scary because it's unknown to you. And there could be an energy of not certain about maybe whether we can compete, if this is a competitive thing, like a competitive field, or something that would require something from within us that we're like, I don't know if I have it in me to make it through. And for some of you guys, it might be, I don't understand something in order to be in a position to win. Like when we, I don't know, want to follow something, but you need to understand how the ins and outs maybe. And so this is holding you up in some way. And it's holding you up from just pulling the trigger and surrendering and going towards this thing. But if you stay put where you're at, there's like this heavy feeling of emotional dissatisfaction. So what is the guidance here then? I'm not sure. Let's take a look and see what your higher self is wanting to communicate. If this resonates for you, then your high self is wanting to come through with a message about this. It's like moving towards something that you could be fired up about, but the fear gets in the way here. The fear of not knowing or not understanding, or it'd be too competitive, or I'd have to fight for this thing. And I don't know if I have the fighting tools or the knowledge to do so, or if I'm equipped to do so, or where this would go. Maybe you're wondering, like, would it expand? Would it move forward? Is it something that is viable? So high self, pile number 01, what is this that we're needing to know? What is the guidance then here in this situation, circumstance for pile 1? What's going to help them to see clearly? Is this something they're having to do, and how do they do it? I mean, obviously, if we're lacking some sort of confidence in self, we will never believe that we're good enough, or smart enough, or capable enough, or knowledgeable enough. And if this is what's lacking, then, will we ever move forward? I don't know. There's a lot of contemplation here about this. I'm also seeing like the feminine and the masculine here. And the feminine is the one by the wand. The masculine's here. So what does this mean? Feminine is sort of more receptive. Masculine's kind of the energy that goes after it and makes things happen. And so maybe we're not, sitting in our masculine energy going after it. Are we lacking, again, our ability or confidence in ourselves to do something? Okay, hopefully this provides us with some more information here, because if I got to be honest, I'm not sure what your high self is talking about. So what does it say? It says, Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. All right. Surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. Beautiful. And then surrender fear, which we were getting. Let go of the fearful stories you're telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. All right. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past when you can own your power and soar in your life. Beautiful. And then we have surrender, wonder, and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Beautiful. Consciousness. Today, I pay attention to every thought and feeling that I manifest. My outward world reflects my inner consciousness. I pour the light of my awareness on the most constructive thoughts so they will grow and produce the experiences I want. Mindful of what I create in this universe, I become an expression of divine light. The inner sense. Today, as I quiet the noise of my mind, I become aware of the voice of my heart. I listen closely to the inner voice. I trust myself and develop confidence in my intuition. My inner truth is divine truth. I allow it to influence and guide me every day. And I am free Today I find the veil of my ego has lifted and a vision of my new life has appeared. Now I am focused on my inner growth. I listen only to the voice of my heart and remain steadfast in the energy of love that I find there. I am now free of duality, fear, and judgment. I move forward on my path to inner peace, inner sense, inner peace. Embrace the moment. Embrace this day, this very moment. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This may be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you're changing your energy. And self-sabotage. When you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. And then we have breathe. The breath is the vital bridge between your body and your soul. It's the connection between the inside and outside, connecting you to the universe spirit and the divine source. To the universe, spirit, and divine source. The breath permeates your entire being with prana, which is the same life-giving force that nourishes everything in the universe. What's interesting is the wands are all about the prana, life force energy with the wands. All you had was wands. Something about life force energy coming through very strong, okay? I also feel as masculine energy that's pulling through here. I feel your masculine energy is asleep on you right now at this time. And it is being stunted by your own inner critic. There's beliefs you have about yourself, your inability to perform, or your lack of understanding in something, maybe your knowledge in something, or your ability to compete, or just stack up. Confidence, there's a lot of fear and worry about performance. Okay? This is all stemmed from an inside belief, as this has been indicating, and it's creating a self-sabotage. Your outer environment right now is not reflective of what you are wanting to experience. There's dissatisfaction, emotional dissatisfaction. It will keep reproducing as emotional dissatisfaction, okay, until we start to identify how we're talking to ourselves. And we identify that that is something we have full control over. Okay, so we don't have control over our thoughts and how they come, but we do have control over whether we believe those thoughts and how much we infuse those thoughts and how much action we take upon those thoughts. So these thoughts are nothing but an illusion and a belief that is untrue. First of all, we have to extend non-judgment, compassion, and see that the thought is there. The thought is trying to protect me. Thank you, thought. Thank you, ego, for coming through, trying to protect me from looking foolish or going down a path that might seem harmful. Thank you. But at this point in time, you are being called to take a chance and go in this direction. And in order to do this, there has to be a trust in yourself and a surrender and a letting go of the fear and the cannots towards exploring this, whatever this is. Okay, because I feel like this is your calling. And so in order to do this thing, rather than be focused in the future, what this will look like, how successful will I be, what sort of steps, like picturing the steps you'll take and how it will unfold, there's a need to be very present. And so your high self is talking about in this moment, this is the only thing that you need focus on. Right now, if there's thoughts right now that are self-sabotaging thoughts or judgment thoughts or negative thoughts or patterns or old things that I'm believing right now that are not necessarily about this present moment, I must identify it and not believe it or feed it. So know that it's there. Do not resist it. Don't argue with it. Let it be there, but it is not true. The more you see through this illusion, the more you're able to build the confidence in self. Okay, but I feel like there's a belief in that illusion. There's a belief in that version of self. So we might have had failure in the past. We might have had an experience that left us feeling a lack of confidence or shameful or hurt or whatever it made us feel. It made us feel in a certain way that we started to identify as being our fault or because of this or because of that. And there is no because of nothing. There's just experience that we had in the past in that moment. Okay, that has nothing to do with this present moment, this opportunity. And so there's an opportunity here that I think is full of wonder and awe that requires you to be in your masculine energy. And so masculine, when I'm saying this, it's not necessarily about I'm going to manipulate and control things around me because I'm fearing, what might happen. because I'm looking into the future and projecting. This is a masculine energy and taking action, even though there might be fear present, even though there might be a lack of confidence present, even though I might not know exactly what the outcome is. This is masculine energy. I'm confronting it. I'm moving forward. I'm taking action. I'm not going to self-sabotage by sitting and watching this sort of pass me by because there's too much fear, or because of past understanding I have of myself, or a disappointing situation is getting in the way. So this requires you to be very conscious in the present moment. When we drift into what happened in the past, but we're keeping that alive and it's keeping you in the old energy. When we drift into the future, picturing what would happen if I did that and it went wrong, or I really want it to be perfect, and so I can't act right now until I know for sure that it's perfect. No, that's living in the future or living in the past. Right now, we're being conscious. Conscious means being here in the present moment. Every time we're in the past or in the future, we're doing a self-sabotage in this situation because we're not allowing ourselves to be conscious right here, right now. And the conscious right here, right now is the one that's going to pull the trigger. The conscious right here, right now is going to be level-headed enough to make the right moves, do the right thing, say the right thing, understand the thing it needs to understand. You're going to get through this, okay? This is all about being very present and conscious. And with this breathe, it's like, if we sort of get lost in with anxiety about the past situation, it's like connecting to the breath brings you to this present moment. So we might have to practice breath work or meditation, getting grounded. There's something that keeps pulling you to a past experience, or projecting that a future experience might result in something you've already experienced as a disappointment, and you don't want to experience this. So you're protecting yourself. It's like, okay, thank you, ego, for trying to protect me, but you're actually harming me right now. There's a harm being created here. What's the harm? The harm is me not following my wand of life, the passion that's being called to me. There's something calling for you to pursue it. It requires you to be in masculine energy. And I feel like maybe we've given up or put down those wands, and we feel like I'm not good enough, so I'll just settle here, or I'll stay put here, And we're not doing ourselves a favor here. And so the more we get centered and grounded, the more we free ourselves, the more we get in this beautiful, peaceful energy that's not bound to certain beliefs of the mind, certain limitations of the mind, certain stories of the past. That's what's holding us sabotage, or holding us hostage, creating a self-sabotage. Okay? And so your opportunity is absolutely valid. You're absolutely made to align with this thing. The challenge is overcoming self in a way here that I feel we still haven't been able to see through, connect to, or understand. And this isn't about a mental understanding so much as it is a conscious understanding, an inner standing of consciousness above the mind. Okay, like a feeling we have, an inner feeling we have that is disconnected from the mind with this breath. Okay, we are not our thoughts, and we are not those stories, and we're not those beliefs. And so when we run with a presupposed idea, an assumption of a belief, like it's true, everything we manifest is from that level. And so we got to undo that belief. There's a belief that you lack. There's a belief that you're not good enough. There's a belief that it will fail, or I have failed, or I am a failure, or I don't understand, or I am lacking, or I can't compete, or I don't know, or I lack the confidence, some sort of lack belief. Lack belief is the cause of suffering. Lack belief is an illusion. You're the only one carrying this belief to be true, and it's not true. And the only way to eradicate is to see through it by being conscious and present, that this present moment has absolutely nothing to do with beliefs of the past. All right, so don't keep it alive. The only reason we keep it alive is fear of our greatness, fear of our potential. So your high self wants you to take this opportunity to be present, and maybe we can't take the opportunity right now until we sort of see through the illusion, until we're conscious. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. When the negative thought comes through, when an old thought comes through, when the self-critic comes through, I see it. I'm catching it earlier and earlier every time. And I'm not buying its story anymore. We're not buying its story. It takes time to undo it. Every time it comes, I undo it. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I don't see it in the same way I used to. So it doesn't have as much weight and control over me. It takes time. We can't just say, I believe that there's a better version, but yet we carry all these beliefs still. We have to undo it one bit at a time until we finally unpeg that true belief that I'm lacking, because there is no lack. Okay, and then we start to build the confidence. We start to build the new belief, trusting in the divine, trusting in our intuition, trusting in ourselves, trusting that we can move and make moves in the moment that are aligned with what we need to do without judgment. Okay, beautiful angel, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. You guys picked the OK Tarot, and we're getting into a message from your high self in regards to guidance and advice in your current situation, circumstance, energy. What is your high self wanting you to know, or what guidance is it providing to you at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Pile 2, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you, Spirit, and thank you to your higher self for this message. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. What is the guidance? What is the advice regarding pile 2's situation, circumstance? What's going on with pile 2 at this time, Spirit? Wow, 7 swords revealing itself. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Please help me to channel in a way pile 2 will understand what is being communicated to them for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I am so blessed to be here. 9 wands, 7 swords, King of Swords. So we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. 9 pentacles in reverse. Death, Scorpio energy. The Tower in reverse. 2 pentacles in reverse and 10 swords. What's under the 9 wands? Ace of wands in reverse. Okay, let me sit here with this energy and see what's coming through. It's under Ace wands, the world. Wow, okay. Okay, beautiful angel. I do feel it's your energy, but sometimes I pick up energy around you, okay? Only take what resonates to you. So I feel like what your high self is talking about here is you being in an energy, and I do feel it is one of thought, and I feel like you're coming up with looking through something maybe that's been looking through at something in a different way. I know we don't see a hangman here, okay, but I feel like maybe you've been wrapped up in something that hasn't been feeling aligned to you in a 100% way, you know? This could be a mismatch of, you name it, a mismatched job, a mismatched relationship, a mismatched experience that maybe we were sort of involved with, and we could have been under one belief at one point in time that this was the be all end all, or this is going to be my job or my person or my, I don't know, whatever we were doing there. I feel like this is coming to a realization of, how do I let go and move through this in a way here that allows me to put an end to something successfully. Okay, so I don't know if this is like someone or something or some part of your world that you were depending on. So it does provide you some form of 3D security, however it might be, okay? It could even be emotional security, although I do see it's pentacle, but it's like in my everyday life. It gives me some form of something. And now we're coming to understand that we don't want to trade some part of, I think, what you're wanting, and we don't see just yet, so hopefully this becomes more clear. So there's something you're wanting more, and I feel obviously truth is going to be greater than just sort of settling here, but I feel like it's greater than truth. I feel like we're trying to understand how to move forward, how to release, how to detach from something that maybe we're very dependent on, or someone or some part of our world, and see through our own lies, or see through the illusion of the situation or the guise that it's built, because I think it's built something in your understanding that you needed it, or that you do need it, or that it does something here for you. And it's like, I want to shift out of this. I no longer want to be in this environment. And I no longer want to give to it. But I think maybe we were stuck on deciding how to put an end to it, or we don't want to be up and down about it. It's like, I don't want to keep being up and down, because maybe this world, this environment pays the bill, but it's emotionally depleting. Maybe this relationship, is maybe it's emotionally okay, but it's not, something that maybe we're getting anything in the 3D that's like supportive in any way. I don't know. It's imbalanced in some way. And I feel like it might be something that's, like a job that's like, oh, it was good for like 1 week, and then it has a month of like heavy burden. Or this relationship is like awesome, but this person is like MIA like 90% of the time. So there's something that isn't good here, isn't good. It isn't aligned, is what I mean. And so I feel like you're in an energy of trying to sort through this. And I do feel like you're coming to the end of some cycle, some phase in your world here, because I don't feel like this is just a little thing. I feel like this is a major part of your world that is being shifted and closing out. And it's like, how do I go about closing this out? And so you might be paused, or still contemplating, or still in think mode and a little guarded or a little defensive, or hesitant on making this decision, because it's like, right now I'm set or secure, or right now things are going okay, or things are still status quo. So I don't want to rock the boat, but I know something needs to come to an end, or I don't know necessarily that the right thing is to deal with this thing. But all I know is that the turbulency, or the imbalance here, the thing it's lacking, has to be something that is acknowledged. So there is an acknowledgement of a need for a release of something that maybe at one point, we weren't wanting to acknowledge or see or buy that it was the truth. And also there might be an energy here, because I am feeling there might be other people involved. I don't know why that's coming through very strong. Other people involved, and also maybe we're wanting to have the least amount of impact, like this is like stealth energy. And it's like, I want to make moves, or I want to make action, or I want to change things, or I want to release things, but it doesn't have to be everybody's in everybody's awareness. How do I do this? You might be really contemplating, like, how do I stealthily end this thing without the least amount of backlash or ramification, so I could put an end to this once and for all. Wow. Okay. It's just sort of resonates here. Let's see what your high self is guiding you to do then. What is the guidance for Pile 2's high self then in this situation, Spirit? Can we channel what Pile 2's high self is giving in way of guidance? How can they handle this situation? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of Pile 2. So, like I said, we have Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Surrender your belief in scarcity. We'll reveal shortly. What should Pile 2 do then? What is the guidance and the advice being communicated here for Pile 2? Practical guidance and advice, please, Spirit, for Pile 2. What can they do in this situation? What are they being encouraged to do? And finally, one of these. What is the guidance? What is the advice for Pile 2? What are they being encouraged to do, to say? What sort of action are they being called to do, or moves they're being called to make, or understandings they're being called to have? Okay, so surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. So right now there is a block, that's for sure. And I think what the block is an imbalance in something, because it doesn't feel wholly secure in a full way. Like, again, I don't know if it's giving you something. And I feel like this scarcity is that if I let go of the something it gives me, where will I get the something from? You know, I don't know what it gives you. Paycheck, a roof, love, something. It's giving you something. And so we're coming from it from an angle of, if I release this thing, if I let it go, where am I going to get this something from? Okay, so we are defensive. We're not open. And this is asking you to be open. So your high self is saying right now you're guarded and closed with the lack mindset. And there's a need to open up to the truth. Okay, not to a lie, to a truth. What is the truth? That the universe is abundance. There is no scarcity. Okay, only when we come from a lack mindset do we believe in lack. And so we think that there's less out there, that something won't be for me or won't come to me. And so we remain dissatisfied, or we remain in a lie, or we remain without. Okay, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past, when you can own your power and soar in your life. So we have a past experience where I was disappointed, or where maybe I tried to deal with something, you know, and it left me feeling a certain way. And so now we have an idea that there's lack, or an idea that we cannot, for whatever reason, some sort of limitation that's driving this closed off energy. Okay, surrender to your path, your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Wow. So you are being guided somewhere for sure. Okay, there might be some hesitation around going in that direction, because we have to let go of something or transition out of something that we outgrown this belief, outgrown this person, outgrown this job, outgrown this thing, because it's a part of our past. All right, so we have Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels, stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. Wow, so if we're guarded, we're too closed off to miracles. There is something about a miracle, blessing, something that wants to come in. It can't come in until we release what's no longer serving. Okay, I'm seeing blue, which is coming about, or it's coming through as throat chakra, which is all about authenticity, expressing our truth, and being in line with authenticity. So right now we're living something that's inauthentically to us. We know it inside somewhere that it's not aligned. It might have parts of okayness. It might do something, but it's not completely aligned. And so we're going back and forth about it under this like lack mindset, that if I let go, then I won't have nothing, or something might happen to me that we've experienced in the past. So we're projecting what might happen, or that the future would be limited, or that I might fail, or that something, you know, it's a projection of a belief. And so your high self is talking about this blessing can only come when we release, when we open our hands, when we trust, and when we're in line with authenticity. It will happen. It will flow. This is true faith in the divine and our own ability to align with our greatest truth. Okay, without coming from a lack mindset. So I reap what I sow. Today I remember that all I think and all I do will come back to me in some way. I understand that I reap the fruits of what I sow, and fill my life with thoughts and deeds of abundance, light, and love. I sow these seeds knowing I will harvest the greatest of riches and master of my life. I dedicate my strength to the divine within me, aligning myself with the true sovereign of my life. My ego steps aside as I listen to my inner voice, and I act in accordance with the truth I hear. Remember, I was talking about truth here. Okay. In this way, I become the master of my life. I live in abiding humility, grace, and love for the glory of God. All that is. Today, I notice the love that powers all of life. I see that each tiny part of the universe is an expression of that love, and I am aware of the presence of God in all things. I open myself to the magic. I marvel at the splendor of all that is, of which I am truly a part of. Okay, I welcome life as it presents itself to me. Today, I take each step on my path to fulfillment with good faith. I swim easily with the flow of life. I embrace all experiences the universe bestows on me, even those that may prove challenging. I know all will fall into place for my greater good. And application today, I apply all that I have learned during my spiritual quest. I practice love in my daily life. I allow my inner light to lift my thoughts. As I do so, the laws of universal love take root in my life. Beautiful. And then we have belief, the force that works through your soul, determining what's possible or impossible, the difference between success or failure. And above all, who you are is the power of your belief. Yes. And then we have relationships. Relationships are just a mirror image of your own life, how you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. Okay. So what is your high self talking about here for guidance? I feel a lot of you guys, it is a relationship. Okay. It doesn't have to be an intimate, loving, like lovers relationship. Okay. But a relationship nonetheless. This could be work, colleague, partner, family, lover, doesn't matter, okay? I feel like we're in a situation that's requiring a shift and a change. It's not authentically aligned to who you are. It might be something that's difficult for you to accept. Okay, why? Because to release this person or to release this situation or to accept something else means I have to acknowledge, okay, that this isn't for me or that it's misaligned in some way, which is scary to do onto itself. Because if I truly believe in a lack, that I might not find the proper person or that this thing might work out for the greatest good. So I'm still trying to control or manipulate energy in a way that is manufacturing how I want this to go. And it's creating all sorts of stress and it's creating all sorts of misalignment because I have a belief in lack and I have a belief right now that something might not go the way that I want it to. And I have a belief that I'll be without, or I have a belief that there might be pain and suffering in some way that I won't be able to manage. And so I'm trying to mitigate this. Okay. And so you right now are carrying a belief that's not supporting you. This belief keeps manifesting and representing itself in this relationship or situation. And it's going to keep manifesting the same way until you catch it and identify that you're carrying this belief. This belief is destructive to creating something new. Your soul has been calling you to the new person, the new path, the new version of the newest version of you. That old situation or person, maybe they were aligned at one point in time. Maybe we still want to believe that they are. But Spirit's really talking about a greater truth right now. There's a version of you that is without right now. Maybe this person falls short, and we're like, well, I don't know, making excuses. Maybe the situation is falling short or doing something that's not fully aligned with support. And so with this reap what you sow, the more we sort of keep alive this belief, the more we manifest that in which is creating the havoc or the destruction or creating the defenses. Spirit wants you to know you're the only one here that's going to be able to turn this. It's not going to eventually turn. It's not going to, all of a sudden, someone's going to see the light. Things are going to shift. Something's going to fall from the sky. Okay. This is your path. Your soul's journey is about learning how to undo destructive beliefs that make you feel like you have to settle or that make you feel you have to control situations for outcome or create your own sort of happiness. You don't. You don't got to create happiness. This is a belief in scarcity that I, a little doer, have to go and do all these things because there's lack out there. And if I'm not doing it, manufacturing it, manipulating it, sacrificing self or being, acquiescing to other people's needs or silencing my truest self and doing all of this bending like a pretzel. If I don't do that, then I'm going to be unhappy. If I don't do that, then I'm going to be without. If I don't do that, then it's not going to work. It's like, no. The more you do this, the more you're sort of creating more of this need to be a pretzel. It will keep mirroring on and on and on and on to you. So what Spirit wants you to do is let go, okay? Your high self is really, really tied to this idea of when you open yourself up to understanding that there's more than what you're experiencing, even if there's fear about it, you're going to go through the journey of learning how to let go, how to surrender, and how to open up to something greater. Okay, and we are going to experience it because I feel like we're going through it bit by bit by bit and acknowledging through this journey, okay, that great abundance sort of exists here once we're able to disconnect from the thought that there is lack. We can't see all the abundance when the mind sits around lack. We can't see the greatness of what's to come when we're still wrapped up in the scraps or settling on what is. Okay, and so I feel like it's all about this application. Why? Because I think you understand something, but I think there's still fear in like the 3D world, like applying it You know, it's like, I know that I'm worthy of love, or I know that there's something more. I know. It's like, yeah, you know, but you're also hanging on to a belief that's not true. A belief in lack, a belief that maybe you're not as deserving, or a belief that you have to do something here that you actually don't. Don't tie yourself to that belief. Okay, so work on undoing it. Because as long as you're tied to it, like I said, you keep manifesting that same energy on and on and on and onwards. And it's not aligned with authenticity. And so there's this trusting with heaven, which I feel is really trusting the divine, trusting the guidance, trusting your inner self, trusting the authentic self, because the authentic self comes from the heart and the intuition. And the other part of self comes from the beliefs and the fears, the need for control. That's all ego-based. I have an identity that's not authentic, by the way, that's created in order to protect myself. It's protecting myself, but it's not really who I am. And what's it protecting you from? When we believe we have to protect ourselves, that means we have a belief in scarcity. But there is nothing to protect self from. Okay, now this doesn't mean we don't have discernment. The authentic self is very sharp, very intellectual. Okay, the intelligence of the heart, it knows. Okay, but it's not reaction based on limiting thoughts and beliefs and stories and pains and traumas. The heart and the intuition is going to be responsive, in line with truth. And this is where you're being guided to act out of, not out of fears, not out of trying to protect self. And so the only way to see through this is to undo a belief in lack and a belief that we're carrying to protect self in order to have some sort of outcome, some sort of thing happen, or maintain something that we think it needs to be maintained in order for there to be something. It's like, no, I'm going to just surrender, let go, apply the fact that you know that there's an authentic version of you that deserves the greatest authentic part of reflection of 3D back at you. Okay, like the 3D needs to reflect back to you an equal proportion. Right now, your 3D is lopsided. I feel like there's a without. I feel like there's a settling, and I feel like there's an up down, and I feel like there's a manipulation of convincing self that we must stay there or something. But I do feel like you're coming into some sort of awareness, and you're trying to work through releasing this. You know, so your high self is talking about, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. We have to see through the belief in lack. What we've created and what we're carrying is actually manifesting more lack, more belief of lack, and more of this imbalanced situation that's making us feel like we must settle here. And we don't. Absolutely don't. Okay. So your authentic self's calling, spirit is calling, your high self's calling, your pure self's calling, and you just need to let go and flow in that direction. And even if there is fear, we do it anyway, because fear is going to be there. And once we prove it to ourselves and we go through it and we surrender and nothing bad happens and things start to align, we get more and more belief and trust in the divine and ourself. And the more belief we have in this, then we develop a new belief. Right now, we got to undo an old so the new can be developed. We can never develop the new belief if we're constantly upkeeping this old, you know, it has to be deconstructed. Okay, so beautiful angel, this is what your high self wants to talk about. I hope this resonated for you. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. You guys picked the Crow Tarot, and we're looking at a message from your high self in regards to guidance, advice on your current situation. What does your high self want to communicate to you? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing the reading. Spirit, please help me to channel in a way that pile 3 will understand what's being communicated. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to your higher self for being here, providing this guidance to you regarding your situation. What is it that pile 3 is being guided to do here in regards to their current situation, circumstance? What do they need to know? Thank you so much. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Okay, pile 3, bottom of the deck, you have 9 swords. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. 9 swords, Under 9 swords, we have 7 cups. Justice in reverse, Libra energy. Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. King of Wands, wow, Queen and King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Power couple, Magician in reverse, Virgo and Gemini energy. And then we have the 9 pentacles, so 2 nines. Nines are about fruition, completion, fulfillment. 9 is also wisdom, okay, and service to humanity. And then we have the High Priestess, Pisces energy. And we have the Empress in reverse. Oh my goodness. Taurus, Libra energy. What's under 7 cups? We have 10 cups in reverse. Okay, let me channel what this is about and see what your high self is wanting to provide as guidance here. This message is very clear, okay? There's not going to be for everyone here, okay? But I do feel a lot of you guys come here for your relationship readings. This is definitely a relationship reading, okay? A King and a Queen of Wands. Very fiery personality. You and this person, okay? Whoever this is, whether you're the Queen or the King, I'll read you as the Queen. You have someone in your world. And I feel like this someone in your world is very self-focused. This could be very hurtful. If somebody is so self-focused, because the shadow of the King of Wands is all about self, you know? The 9 Pentacles inherently isn't a bad card here, but I feel like there's an energy of being very focused on self. And this could mean going against certain things, even things that might seem unfair or unjust to you. There's an imbalance or an injustice here. And there is maybe something that you're wanting this person to see or understand or be able to do. If for some of you guys, it might be you want this person to be committing more, you know, committing more time, committing more energy or effort towards maybe this relationship or this connection or towards you or towards something that you're working on with this person. If this is a business partner, it could be a business partner. Okay, could be a lover, could be our sibling. I feel like there's an energy here of maybe you having to carry this person is kind of what's coming through, only because I'm seeing 2 of the masculine lions here and I'm seeing 1 here. And so I feel like this Queen of Wands has been carrying her own sort of energy, but when it comes to masculine, because we all have masculine and feminine, so she is embracing her masculinity, which means a driver here, you know, a driver like creating her own order, structure, success, and taking action where she needs to, and her own confidence. But then she's kind of carrying the energy here of another lion. And this lion is only carrying his own energy. He isn't unencumbered here. He's not weighed down by her energy. Okay, and so did he ask her to carry this energy? Even if he did, does she have to carry his energy? No. And when I say carry his energy, pick up the weight. Something's imbalanced. She's picking up the weight, I feel here. Okay, no, this isn't victim blaming, shaming. If you get victim blaming, shaming from this, this probably isn't your reading. Maybe it is your reading, but you're not ready to hear it because your consciousness is closed. This reading is talking about why are we carrying someone else's energy? The only reason we would carry someone else's energy is because we're not seeing something about self. And as long as we don't see something about self, we create circumstances, situations that are imbalanced. Then we could justify and make up all sorts of reasons as to why the other person is doing something wrong, bad, or they're imbalanced or misaligned. And we could say, well, it's just the right thing to do. There is no right, there is no wrong. There's just energy and how energy interacts with each other. And so everyone's on their own sort of journey. Everyone's on their own sort of outputs. Whoever this person is outputting one sort of energy. Whoever you are, you're outputting one sort of energy. You are carrying something that feels unjust. I feel like this is a karmic experience, okay? A karmic experience so that you, if you're this Queen of Wands, are learning about your self-value, your self-worth, and imbalanced situations where maybe you're carrying other people's karmas, other people's responsibilities, other people's traumas, okay? And so there is this energy, like I said, of this person maybe being manipulative, or you're seeing them as manipulative, or you're seeing them as being in control, or you're seeing them as sort of having the reins or doing something to you. And no matter how much you try to undo it, it's like, yeah, but I feel like this person is at the helm doing something here, going against something here, or creating the imbalance here. It's like, no, they are doing something, but it isn't going to impact you unless you're allowing the impacts to impact you the way it's impacting you. So there's something about connecting to your intuition, to be guided by the intuition, not by the fears, and not by what we're seeing with our eyes, not by what society is saying, that someone has to be like this, they need to come correctly, balance looks like this and like that. No, there is no story already written on this. This is all about karmic experiences. This is all about going through something that feels imbalanced and finding our own sense of balance, finding our own self-worth, finding our own regulation on emotions, finding how to make ourselves feel confident, how to make ourselves feel whole and complete and secure from the inside out, not from seeking it from our other person. Okay, if there isn't another person, it's like, I can't find the other person, my other half. I can't find it. It's imbalanced. I'm just on my own, carrying this on my own, like being on my own. And then the more we believe that, that story, and it's like we've created this thing that we're believing and hanging on to, and then we experience that in which it is that we're telling ourselves. And so I feel like you're wanting to manifest some sort of partnership, some form of agreement and balanced union, or some sort of commitment of sorts, but I feel like this is coming from an ego with all of this lion energy, and even this Hierophant, because the Hierophant talks about man-made beliefs and structures and laws and understandings and traditions. And there's nothing wrong with having these sort of things once we undo what's been sort of forced to us and fed to us and believed by us. Otherwise, we're just asleep and we're under the control of what we've been indoctrinated with. So I have a belief in what marriage looks like, or what a partner looks like, or what this should look like. And that's what I'm running with. And now that it's not happening, I feel slighted. I feel it's imbalanced. I feel it's unjust. It's like, yeah, because there is no such thing as man-made. I mean, there's man-made, but that's not the be-all end-all. And that's not the great truth. And so the great truth here is that there's an experience that we're going through karmically with someone else that's showing us a greater truth that's higher than man-made. It's higher. Why is it higher? Because it's a greater understanding of consciousness, and a greater understanding that means I am whole and complete and grounded and solid and confident, despite, what the movies show me, that another person completes me, that I need to build a world with someone else, that a family is at the end of the rainbow. It's like you might have these desires, but desires are egos. Desires lead to suffering. There is a need to connect to a truth here in this karmic lesson. Okay, if this is your reading, your high self is talking about a lesson that we go through. And so this is why there's suffering. This is why there's imbalance. This is why there's unruly people, because we're coming to a greater state of consciousness, a greater state of awareness, which is, how do I find my inner strength, my inner confidence without my other half? There is no other half. There's just me being whole and complete, and then somebody adding to it. The only way I could see this is connecting to my intuition and following the divine. Okay, and when I follow the divine, this means I got to let go of all the other stories in the 3D that are sort of tainting my understanding. Those are fears. That's not intuition. Those are certain things that I'm attached to. They're egoic beliefs. And as long as I keep following that, I keep experiencing imbalances, I keep experiencing disappointments, and I keep not manifesting what I want. And what I want is to feel solid, whole, complete. I don't want to be attached to someone else's imbalanced story. I don't want to be attached to someone who I might feel is like manipulative, or only in it for themselves, or not committed to me, or giving me scraps, or whatever this person is doing that's unfair to you. This person might be very confused, they might be choosing a bunch of things that aren't in line with your highest truth. And you're like seeing this as plain as day. And you're like, I see a great potential. And this person is just all like, not choosing me, or they're keeping things vague, or they're like not committing, and they're just like doing all these things. And it's like, it's okay. That's this person's journey. And I say it's okay. It's okay only when we're not attached to the story, only when we're not attached to the ego, that this person is the one that's fulfilling me. But we feel this intensely, very intensely, because we're karmically supposed to feel this way so that it could trigger some sort of realization in the subconscious with our intuition in regards to our own confidence, our own beauty, our own self-worth, our own value. Without this experience, we would never be on the journey of seeing our own self-worth and self-value. Right now, you're not seeing your self-worth and self-value. You're giving it to somebody here who is self-absorbed by their own lessons. And when I say self-absorbed, nothing wrong with their journey. They're going through their own karmic journey of where does self-absorbedness leave me? It might leave me alone. It might leave me confused. It might leave me shallow. It might leave me without a 10 cups, because a 10 cups is of equal value here, where I got to show up and be 5 cup, and their 5 cup past, okay, comes together to create harmony. It's like leaving my disappointments and everything sort of in the past and overcoming these regrets and challenges. But it's like, without this, I'm sort of, still trying to massage energy by like being dominant, or like trying to manipulate that I'm the man, or that I have control, or that I'm single, or I'm independent, or I have freedom and I live the way I want, and that I don't conform, that I don't bend to society, and that I do what I want. It's like, okay, great. But where does that leave you? That leaves you in a reverse 10 of cups. That leaves you in a 7 cups. 7 cups is not enjoyable, because it's like something I can't touch and feel. And I keep like uncovering different things that aren't fulfilling to me. So whichever you are, because you could be this King of Wands, you could be this Queen of Wands. Neither of these are happy people. Both of these people are learning about harmony and balance within self. So that someone out there isn't the one that's going to bring me the harmony and balance. Someone out there isn't going to bring me my self-value. Someone out there isn't going to make me feel confident about self. Someone out there isn't going to make me feel whole and complete. And right now I have a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of beliefs around what the other person can do and what they are doing, and how it's not reflecting back to me what I want it to. And I keep manifesting that same thing, the same anxiety, the same pain, the same situation, the same unruly person, the same person that's doing the same thing. It won't close out. It won't close out. It won't close out. And it feels very imbalanced. Yes, because you keep doing the same thing. Until we know our own self-worth and our own self-value, and we start to magnetize towards us what we already know is true about us, then we keep experiencing the same lack, the same imbalance. So what does pile 3's high self want pile 3 to know and do? Pile 3, this is all about self-worth, self-value, self-respect, choosing self, and not from a place of ego. Not I am the prize. I'm the prize. We have to undo all of the ego stories before we get to this next level. Okay, the next level is the one of what? Accepting people and where they're at with compassion, seeing through the egoic stories. And this is the only way to diffuse the energy, because right now, if there's an intense energy around attaining what we want, so much so, then we have to undo that first, okay? There's a story belief of something that I'm deserving here, and that I'm all these things. And it's like, nobody owes you anything. Are you deserving of being whole and complete? Yeah, but you are already whole and complete. There is no external person that's going to bring it to you. And so Spirit wants you to connect to the whole and completeness that's there, not this belief that you have that being whole and complete will come and should come for me. It's like, what do you mean should come? It's already there. You're being called to see it. There is no person that's bringing it to you. There's no circumstance. There's no idolized sort of relationship that you're dreaming about here that's then going to make you feel whole, then going to bring you happiness, then going to know. There's no then. There's no future. There's just right here, right now. And right here, right now, you're going to see your true essence. This is called true enlightenment, when you're totally at peace and find harmony and balance with your own energy, despite whether somebody's coming, going, showing up, or imbalanced. Nothing to do with you. All to do with their own traumas and pains. Let them do what they're doing. You can't control anybody. Nobody owes you anything. And whatever they do has absolutely nothing to do with you and your self-worth. Nothing at all. Your self-worth, no, is not manipulated by anyone's sort of lacks or anyone else's inabilities to support it or show up for you. Okay, so inner power. Today, I choose to see myself as significant. I acknowledge my true strength, and I remain steadfast in the face of adversity. If I stumble, I pick myself up, knowing that I am filled with the power of the universe. I accept and appreciate myself in every way. I contain the most precious treasures of the world within me. The universe shines through me. What did I say? All about self. Inner power, inner confidence, inner trust, inner balance. This isn't external seeking. It's inner. It has to be cultivated from inner. Okay, so we every time we start diverting to this person or what's happening out there, that means we're diverting from the inner. Keep bringing it back to the inner. What do I got to sit with? Sit with myself, see myself, connect to my divine light. What belief am I telling myself right now? Is it an untruth? Is it something about the external world that I'm believing and running with? No, then that means I'm not going inner. Inner. Connect to the inner. All right, love appears. I renounce my pain and release my resistance. Today, I choose to reside in the light of my being. I rise up boldly and ask for the understanding that will free me of my duality. My prayers are heard, and God sends angelic help so that love and peace find their way to me. When I open my eyes, love appears. So for some of us, because we are in a Queen of Wands in the upright and the Empress in reverse, what I am getting for some of us, okay? We're in ego so much that we think we have confidence and we have a story of what it is that we believe we should get and how it should come and how it should feel. And it's not happening because it's really deconstructing the ego here. And we believe so much of what other people told us about ourselves and what we told ourselves. I'm the prize, or I deserve this, and I am that, and this is what it looks like. As long as you hold those beliefs, you're going to be disappointed, because underneath that beautiful, attractive, fiery person is somebody without self-worth that actually doesn't feel whole and complete when they're alone. You know, somebody who isn't strong in their energy. You might be putting up the show of strong in the energy, but no, it's not coming from the true place. There's a true place from within you that needs to be seen. It's not going to come from a relationship. It's not going to come from a reflection of the outside world. This is going to come from you connecting to this part of yourself. Okay, and then this person, your other half, is going to appear in a balanced way to you. That's the only way it's going to happen here, because again, you're experiencing sort of karmic thing. And this is the only way to get there, is by seeing it. Okay, stand tall and strong. Today, I choose to remain positive. I face all of my challenges with strength and courage. I will not be denied or turned away. I do not allow myself to be carried away by negative thoughts. I stand tall and strong and live each moment in joy and peace, leaving my future in God's hands. I believe in life because life believes in me. So this is a trust in our own energy without someone sort of by our side or doing something for us. Stand tall and strong in my own energy. It's hard to do when we're not in an upright Empress. We feel something's missing, you know, we feel a lack, we feel an imbalance. It's like, but I don't have the thing or the person or that mirroring back to me, so I don't feel it. It's like, no, connect to it. It's there. Even if you don't feel it, it's there. Spirit wants you to feel it and see it, and then cultivate that energy. Keep cultivating it. Okay, dance to the rhythm of life. Today I find the joy in my heart. I lighten my life by releasing what I no longer need. I align myself with who I am and gently acknowledge who I am not. I am grateful for what I possess, and I am at peace with what I do not. So I don't possess this person, and I'm happy. I don't possess maybe this partnership that I'm wanting that's in a balanced way here, and I'm happy. We don't need anything out there. As long as we feel we need something, we're not happy and peaceful. We don't know our self-worth. Okay, and so this is to align with the greatest version of who you are. You are who you are. You are, I am. Okay, to gently acknowledge who you're not. I am grateful for what I possess, and I am at peace with what I do not. I appreciate and accept my life as it is. I live according to the will of God. In this way, I dance with the life and see the magic of love bloom. So when we're trying to force, coerce, manipulate, change reality by doing or saying something, then this person will see me. Then it will align. Then it will be different. Then we're not at peace. We're forever suffering because we're not accepting reality as it is. Reality says this person is not mirroring back to me something that I feel I'm lacking. Why? I'm actually not lacking anything, and this person doesn't need to do anything, and this is what's being shown to me. So Spirit, show me. Show me my own beauty. Show me my own strength. Show me my own balance within. Don't make me attach or seek it on someone else. I'm not going to find it that way. I'm just going to be disappointed. Let me dance with myself. There's beautiful purple energy here, which is all the spiritual energy. Okay, faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. See the light in the world. Beautiful. So I have trust in myself. I have trust in the divine. And I also trust that this person, who might also be going through some sort of ego, some sort of imbalance. I trust in humanity. I trust they will find their way, but I don't need them to be anything for me because this isn't about me. Okay, like their world isn't about me. This connection isn't about me. What's about me is within me. What's about me is the truth. And so I need to connect to the truth of who I am through a way of faith, trust, okay, and seeing the light. So we have Kuthumi or Kuthumi with cloak of wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Beautiful. So the answer is within. There's nothing out there that you're going to seek. Surrender, stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly and others and yourself. So I'm right. I'm right because I understood it with the Hierophant. This was shown to me. You're imbalanced, you're unloving, you're selfish, you're greedy. I'm making all these judgments based on a Hierophant, and I'm the one creating the imbalance. This is stubbornness. Let go of this. This person is this person. They are how they be. Nothing to do with you. That takes a lot of humility to let go. I want to be right. That they're doing something wrong to me. No, they're not. Okay? So surrender to what is. Exactly. Don't resist. Don't fight. There's something pure about what's happening here. Let it happen the way it's happening. Don't try to change it. Okay? Don't try to change people to be what they're not. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. Perfect. Surrender to effortlessness. Exactly. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. What did I say? All of this stuff means you're trying to manipulate energy for this person to be how you want them to be, or give the way you want them to give, or do what you want them to do. This is creating a lot of suffering for you. This doesn't mean this person doesn't love you or they don't want to work with you. This person is challenged. They have their challenge. Okay? All you need to do is sort of reel it back. There's nothing that you can do, say, that's going to change them, but there's what you can do and say within self, what you can do and accept within self and release within self that's going to free you of anxiety, free you of this looking at things like they're heavily imbalanced and like you got to carry the weight of someone else and you have to. No, you don't have to do any of this stuff. You're telling yourself that that's the way it is or that's the way it should be. And then you start to live like that's the truth. It's not the truth. It's the truth that you're making, and you're making it difficult on yourself. Okay? Cleanse. Your body, mind, and soul are urging you to take time out for some much needed cleansing. Just as you wash your car, clean the house, or tidy your office, your body also needs care and attention. It's time for some spiritual, emotional, and physical cleansing. So I think you're needing to release. Okay? Release and accept what is. Easier said than done. We're hanging on to and we're trying to do something here, which is actually a form of resistance. Okay. And when we accept what is, it lightens us, but there's a lot of fear in letting go or letting things be, because what if it doesn't flow? What if it doesn't change? What if, and Spirit's saying, what will happen is meant to happen, will come effortlessly for you. Okay. But I feel like there's a heavy burden right now you're carrying. And so there is a point in time where we're needing to just let go and let God and let whatever flow. Okay. But right now what is flowing is sort of this ego attachment. This needs to be right. This needs to hang on. This needs to get outcome. That's what's creating anxiety, because no matter what you do here, there's not going to be a manipulation that's going to get you what you want. You can't manipulate or control any other person to be how we want them to be, even if we believe it's the right thing or, the moral thing, the ethical thing, the just thing, the social thing. It's like, no, there is nothing standard here except for a lesson in finding the truest version of me from within me. That has nothing to do with anyone else. It's being reflected to me by an unruly person who's annoying as fuck. Okay? So, beautiful angel, this is your reading. Compassion, love. You already know the answer here, and we just might not like what we have to do. This is true, like enlightenment, true ascension is like doing what we feel uncomfortable doing here, because then we're really trusting the divine. We're really trusting that when we let go and surrender here, that the best thing will unfold. That is the truth. Okay. Otherwise, we're sort of thinking we're the doer and we're like God and we can manipulate outcomes, and we're just setting ourselves up for disappointment. So, beautiful angel, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye.